What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And your auditory canals are locked into episode 292 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. As usual, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, got my partners in crime. First on deck, we got Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Lover.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stepdaddy. How's it going?
Hey, not bad. Just happy to be here, as always, talking about video games, the hobby we all know and love, with you two fine fellows. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Indeed, indeed. And of course, our show's a no-go without Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How you doing?
Not bad. I tried to have a game night this past week, but I had to cancel it because I was doing real life EDF business. So
He really was, yo. He's not lying.
I am not lying. Yeah, when I went to go see Desmond this past weekend,
don't you blame this on me?
I am not blaming. I'm explaining it. I am going to explain. Oh God! Don't blame me! Don't blame me! Don't blame me! Shut the.
Hey, we're an all ages shoujo.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so as I was explaining or trying to explain, I basically take the train up to go visit Dez usually because I like to go up. Like if you're a longtime listener of the show, I talk about my train escapades and playing my portable devices and so on and so forth. But I wound up at the Amtrak parking lot, parking by a tree, and so therefore, when I was traveling to work this past week, starting on Tuesday, I noticed I had ants in my car for some freaking reason. So yeah, it got to where by Thursday, I been having some intermittent issue with my car on top of seeing even more ants in my car on Thursday. So I wound up doing some extra vacuuming after I got home, putting some ant traps in my car and trying to figure out what exactly was going on. I mean, I had ants plus my car died on the freeway, trying to get on the freeway. So not only that, so it's like I had just like real life EF business, I guess. I'm fighting against these ants, but by Friday, pretty much the ant traps I laid down on Thursday and all the crazy ass vacuuming I did resolved the issue. And then I took the car in and got the intermittent issue with my car. It wasn't caused by ants. It was caused by a particular sensor. So pretty much everything was good with it. So it had to do with a malfunctioning crankshaft sensor. So that's basically long and short of it. But, see, we have another game night this next upcoming week. So we'll see. So.
Okay. Well,
no blame on Dez. No blame on
Dez. Okay.
Yes, nothing to do with Dez. No.
It wasn't his fault. Okay.
No, it was not. Yes.
All right.
Unless you're the Ant Master that I know of,
I'm just saying, Joe would like to blame stuff on people, so I'm just saying.
Okay, Ant-Man.
What was that Powerpuff Girls villain, the Bug King? Controlled ants and roaches.
Yeah, it was funny. I was sending him memes of like that old movie Them, and trying to get oh no, people over here trying to get him. But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that to Joe.
Conspiracy.
He's our good friend. Nah, I'm not gonna do that to Joe.
All right, so we're gonna move into what is always our first topic on the docket. Playlist coming at you. All right, so let's kick things off with Dez first. What you been up to, man?
Alrighty, so I'm still plugging away at Star Wars Outlaws. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really fantastic open world. I'm really enjoying how the game kind of opens up. And by open up, I mean, as you continue being, a smuggler, you get to do extra really cool stuff and find stuff in the world and in the cities and just you get to go to different planets. Although I've only gone to one other planet, and like the story is really kind of taking off right now. And it's just a different way of playing, because I think a lot of people, at least for me, have like a what is it? When you, I don't say idolize, but you have this like Jedi fantasy, and so you're used to playing Jedis and using the special powers. But being an actual, badass outlaw has actually been pretty fun. And running around and sneaking around and doing stuff. There are a couple of places that are forced stealth, but it's not hard. I'll give you this. Like, the game can be as challenging as you want it to be. You can go in there blazing a lot of the time, but another time is they want you to kind of, force stealth your way into places. But what I like about it is a lot of the forced stealth play is not, they don't force you to do it. And I really like that about the game, because I think that could be one of the things that's just like, just terrible. And they don't make you do that, which I really, really am very happy about. The speeder, you have a speeder, you have a ship, you can upgrade all your stuff. You have, different, outlaw abilities that you have. There's a huge reputation meter about and different like factions that you can align with or not align with, and if you align with certain people, you get access to like their hidden wares and all this other good stuff. So the game has a lot of deep layers in it that just keep unfolding the more you play in it. And it's like, and the abilities, like I've only met one person that's able to give me abilities, and I'm, there's like a whole bunch of other people that you can meet. I think there's like 10 or something, people that you can meet that give you different abilities. So yeah, I think this, either 9 or 10. I think it's 9 actually. But it's really fun. I'm really excited. I'm enjoying it because each of the ability experts that you meet, you can learn their moves from them. They teach you. So Kay is actually getting stronger and better as a thief and as a combatant, depending on how you want to build her. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's a lot of fun. Her little critter Nyx that runs around and does stuff with you, they don't force him on you, meaning you don't have to use him all the time to do stuff. There are certain puzzles that you can solve with him, which is kind of cool. But overall, he's not really like, forced down your throat or anything like that. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a lot of fun. If you're able to pick it up on a sale, definitely do it. And if you are a Star Wars fan, I think that you would definitely enjoy it. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I might actually be beating this game. But yeah, that is my solo player game that I have been playing right now, and I'm really enjoying it. The other game that I've been playing, and we've all been playing this game, is Borderlands 4. We're still playing Borderlands 4. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I think it was very smart of them to go the going the open world route and having you run around and find interesting stuff to do. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that the characters are distinct enough that you can do different things with them. I'm playing Vex the Siren, and I'm playing it with Trouble the big cat because I'm a cat fan. So, but everything feels fun. And I know Joe and I will most likely will be beating that game as well. That is my multiplayer game right now, and I've been really enjoying it. And I've been keeping pace with Joe, and Joe's in a minute gonna talk about his time with it. because I know that we're talking, about it, and there's certain things that he wants to achieve with the game as well. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I generally play it when I'm hanging out with Joe. I don't usually play it by myself. I do sometimes, if I'm just going to run around and try to level up and stuff, but I'm trying not to be super over leveled because there's so much more of this game that I want to do. And yeah, so that's a really great segue into Joe. Because I know Joe wants to talk about his Borderlands experience, and I know that you and Kev played this weekend, so I'm dying to know how that was. Because I know, Kevin, you're really not really a big Borderlands fan, so I'm kind of wondering how your experience of this has changed or gotten better or gotten worse or whatever. So I'm gonna kick it over to Joe, and then we can Joe can finish, and we can talk to Kev, because I'm just wanting to hear both of your experiences. I know Joe's experience, but I'm really more keen to hear from Kev. So I'll kick it over to Joe first. Joe.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about what else I played besides Borderlands, and
sure.
I played a little bit more of Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage. On there, I was basically playing around with the PlayStation 5 version of the game, even though the beta right now is closed on there. I just happened to play the arcade mode and was just tooling around for a little bit. So I'm looking forward to when the actual update drops and getting into it a little bit. So, I'm going to make it to where I maybe play a little bit more often and kind of make sure that I continue to hone my skills with Lion, my main, and kind of go from there. But can't wait for that to come out. It's going to come out like towards the end of October. So also had a chance. I've been playing mainly just 100% Borderlands 4 for the most part. So I am using Rafa as my character, and pretty much been kind of, I'm feeling like the open world aspects of this game are really kind of calling to me. I'm looking at the map. I'm taking a look at all the points on the map and kind of looking to explore a little bit. I've got that kind of Ubisoft like open world points on the map kind of feeling with this game. And so, and you could basically sign on, grab a couple bounties, do a couple side quests, and kind of get an hour of gameplay in and log off. And so I haven't really been concentrating on the main story missions necessarily. I've been more just going in and exploring. And so when I played with Desmond over on Saturday, pretty much I found the area in question to go ahead and respec. And so I actually, following a guide, respec my Rafa build on there. And I actually was messing with a different power on there. And as far as the power in question, it had to do with this particular skill. It has to do with, let me look it up, Ricochet Peacebreaker is basically what I've been looking at. And I know when I was playing with Desmond last night, or not, was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night, or it was Friday night, that pretty much I was kind of not getting used to the Peacebreaker build necessarily, but after tooling around with it yesterday, I understand exactly what the build is aiming for on there. So as far as the special move and whatnot, so on that. But what I feel for the game right now, just the elements of it, the loot element, and me being a Borderlands fan, I just I'm really happy with the way everything is going with the game so far. I know that the update came out this past week, and so I was messing around with the FOV slider on there. I actually want to see if what the FOV slider does. I was tempted to just turn the FOV slider all the way up and check to see as far as what exactly the differences are, and I can't really notice that big of a difference on there. I know that if you crank up the FOV slider, it might help people that might be getting sick or having motion sickness of some sort. So And since that's not me, I don't know if I really need to be messing with it per se. So on that, but I know Desmond, especially when we play, he applies some patience because I'm always like sorting through my loot and being able to figure that out. And so I want to be able to, especially if I'm in the game with others, not be so loot centric in my gameplay and maybe just concentrate more on accomplishing tasks and so on and so forth. So on that, but I did get a chance to play with Kev on last night. In particular, I saw he signed on and was playing. So Kev, I don't know what your feelings are about Borderlands 4. I have an idea because we talked about it a little bit last night, but you want to give me your 411 as far as Borderlands 4 is concerned?
So I decided to get into this game because in the introductory gameplay trailers that were shown leading up to the game's release, it looked like Destiny, and it seemed to play like Destiny. And since Bungie can't count to 3,
Nope.
and it seems like a whole bunch of them can't. Not many of them are going to be counting to anything because it looks like they're going to. It doesn't look good for the staff over for the leadership over at Bungie right now. Anyway, I'm not holding my breath for a future Destiny sequel release anytime soon, if ever. So that was my mindset going into Borderlands 4, not as a Borderlands fan, but as a Destiny fan. So I admit I'm coming in with a severely jaded lens, but I was captivated by what I saw in the gameplay because it did look like Destiny gameplay to me. Getting into the game, I found it to be an uphill battle. The systems are not complex, but they're stacked. And I don't, for someone who is not used to that, like Destiny had a lot of stuff going on, but one of the things that it had really simplified was its gameplay. I mean, after all, it's a first-person shooter. It's not supposed to be complex. And for me, and I'm sure, well, if it's a first person, it's not, Borderlands is not, to me, it was complicated. I ain't gonna lie, because I didn't even realize I had skill points to be allocated amongst several different categories until I think Joe pointed out some type of machine that sets up your skills, and I had something like 6 or 7 skill points that I hadn't even allocated yet. To me, the game does not do a good job of acclimating you to the gameplay loop. It's just kind of expecting you to know all this stuff, some of the basic stuff already. And as someone who dipped a little bit into Borderlands 1 and hasn't come back to the series until the fourth edition in, I felt really lost, and I found it also to be frustrating. So where I'm at right now is, because I had intended to participate in the first game night for this game after it launched, neither Best Buy nor Amazon could guarantee me release date pickup or delivery. So I wound up buying this game digitally, and I felt confident about it, again, because of the gameplay that I had seen. But after playing it, I think if I would have had a physical edition, I probably would have uninstalled it and sold it, because where I'm at, and maybe it's because my skills are still low. I'm only like level 7. My skills are low. I don't even really know what I'm doing. I still don't know how to execute my supers. I don't know how to execute my powers. And at the end of the day, it just feels like I'm just running around with underpowered guns, shooting at dudes that are 1 or 2 levels ahead of me. and it feels more like a poorly executed Doom. If that makes sense to me. If that makes sense. That's how it feels to me. And I don't even really. I don't really. The humor isn't hitting with me at all. The graphics are fine. It's Borderlands, so I understood the graphic style that I was stepping into, but again, I'm coming into this expecting Destiny, and I know that's not a fair lens to view the game in. I mean, this isn't a Bungie joint. This is a what is the company that makes this game?
Gearbox.
Something? Gearbox. This is a Gearbox joint. So it's like, that's like judging an apple by an orange statistics. Orange's taste. So I know that's faulty logic off rip. I get that. I understand that. But that's the point. That's the viewpoint that I'm coming at this game from. So, and because PlayStation's return policy on digital content is trash, I can't get my money back for this.
Would you be willing, Kevin? I hate to interrupt you, but if you want to play split screen maybe with me, are you tempted to maybe...
I can't figure out full screen, so split screen ain't gonna help me out.
No, I mean, we could game together in person, and I could point out some things and that kind of thing,
I mean, maybe. I've never been a split screen player. I mean, the only game that I played split screen with any fun was GoldenEye, and that's just, we were all just running around with grenade launchers, just chucking them everywhere, and not really, That's the extent of my my split screen gameplay. I really don't like split screen that much.
I mean, I don't like it either, but it might be something to where we could game together, and you could watch what I'm doing on my side of the screen, so on and so forth, to get a better idea, possibly. As far as
that's viable, but probably just what I want to I should watch is just like a Borderlands 4 for Dummies introductory guide on YouTube, and just kind of base it off of that.
You can also play with playing with multiple people might be nice too. That way you're running around, and we can all play together and help each other and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do last night with Kev, because I was pointing a lot of different things out, and especially because he just gained the speeder bike, and as far as learning how to activate that, and using the Echo 4 robot to make a pin and point out the line to get to the point if need be. So
it's definitely a learning curve. Like I'll definitely say that there's definitely a learning curve.
It's like I didn't even know that I had a heavy weapon. I knew I had a grenade of some sort, but I guess that same spot can be accessed. You can access a heavy weapon.
Yeah, a heavy weapon and a throwing knife, and
I didn't realize any of that, and I don't think the game does a good job of explaining that to you. And maybe I'm just one of those people that needs to be handheld, and I freely admit that I'm an old ass man. Ain't nobody got time to figure this shit out on his own. But it's a Borderlands game, I guess. And I was coming in thinking that it was going to be the second coming of Destiny 2, like a Destiny 2.5, based on the gameplay that I saw, which I still say that gameplay was straight up Destiny gameplay style. That's what drew me to even want to play this game in the first place. If it had been presented as every other Borderlands game that I've seen before, leading to the prequels launches, I never would have bought the game at all. So I'm stuck with a digital game that I'm not all that in love with. I will probably just play it periodically, for game nights and whatnot. But I don't think it's going to be one of those games that I'm just going to be trying to learn to get to like, because I don't operate that way. If I like a game, I like a game, like almost off rip. Very rarely have I experienced a game that I didn't particularly care for that some kind of way grabbed me later on as systems opened up or gameplay loops became more detailed or more in depth. That is super rare for me. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not judging this game fairly off dome. So, do not use my opinions of this game for listeners. Do not use my opinions of this game to base any kind of purchasing decision. Your best bet would be to talk to people who are already Borderlands fans and see what they think of it. Because I am not a Borderlands fan at all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're being honest, and I respect your honesty.
Yeah.
And I really applaud you for trying, and I really hope that you stick with it and it kind of clicks, because I'll tell you, it took a minute for Borderlands to click with me too. So I totally understand.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm standing with BL4 at the moment.
Right.
Yeah,
pretty
go
much.
ahead.
I haven't played anything else this past week, so my switch to still collecting dust. It's still in the case. I took it to Desmond's this last weekend. Same thing with the Steam Deck. So pretty much it's been Borderlands 4 or nothing. So hate to say it, hate to put it into real life, but like if there happens to be a government shutdown, I maybe not be complaining. Maybe I get to play some games a little bit, and based on federal law, I do get paid regardless. So
good luck with that, sir.
Good luck indeed. I don't want the government to lose billions and billions of dollars, so I could just get to my backlog and get some stuff done around the house. But hey, if it's a pleasant side effect of such horrible things, So
we got food lines, but I can catch up on my backlog.
You got it.
I don't want to say anything, but I mean, it's kind of where we're at, folks.
You know it. Gotta make sure those immigrants and trans people don't get health care. So, shut down that government.
There you go. Anywho.
Oh, what else you been up to, Kev?
So other than a little bit, and when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit of Helldivers 2. Right now, the major order is regarding the Illuminate, and the Illuminate is my least favorite enemy type to fight. In fact, I would say I don't like fighting the Illuminate at all. It's just not really fun. I think part of that is because I think most of the stratagems in this game are really geared for the bots and the bugs. The Illuminate is kind of thrown in as, and I know that there are YouTubers that specialize in Helldivers 2 that would say my opinion is ill thought out and illogical and based off nonsense, but that's just how I feel when I fight the Illuminate. Regardless of what loadout I take, I feel that I'm at a constant disadvantage. I never feel that way fighting the bots, the bugs. So I just did 2 or 3 missions for the Illuminate Major Order, and I failed them, of course, because I'm playing on the suicide level.
Oh.
But because I played them, I will get credit if the community completes the major order, and that's really all I wanted. So I'm probably not going to be messing with Helldivers for at least another couple of days until the major order switches, which it seems like it's going to be switching back to the Terminids, and then I'll be back on it when I have free time to game, as usual. But what I have been watching is I've been catching up on or watching shows on my streaming apps. So Alien Earth just completed its first season, and I caught up on the last episode of season 1, and I felt that this show, I still say this, Alien Earth is the best series on streaming or on TV, in my opinion, going right now. And I know that that is an unpopular opinion based on the YouTube videos that come up when I type in Alien Earth discussion. A lot of people hate this show, and a lot of people hated the last episode. The only thing I will say that the last episode did not hit as hard as I was hoping it would. Some things just seem to happen for no real in-depth or clear-cut reason. Like the protagonist has some abilities and skills that she really shouldn't have, and you don't know why she's got them, because there really wasn't any kind of explanation as to how she can do some of the stuff she was doing at that episode's end. But I think overall, Alien Earth is just it is a fantastic series. It left at a cliffhanger where it's kind of like if season 1 was Alien, season 2 is going to be Aliens, because the fecal matter is about to hit the rotating wind turbine big time.
Ooh,
and we all effed.
Wow.
we
That's always
were
fun.
all effed. So Alien Earth, I'm just gonna say, just season 1, I'm gonna give it a B plus. I'm gonna give maybe an A minus. It's a great show. The other show I've been catching up on, believe it or not, is South Park. So I haven't watched South Park in years. I think I started watching it in season 2. And then I know I didn't finish season 2, and I haven't watched it since. So because I made some adjustments to my cable channel. Before, the kind of the default channel was Cartoon Network, and I would just have that on just for Gumball or something silly, just so I can just have it on as more or less like background noise. So then it turned that became the Food Network, but since I no longer have access to those channels anymore, I still have access to Comedy Central, and they're just a big chunk of their broadcast day is South Park. So I've been catching up on South Park episodes, and that show's funny. I've been watching some of the current season, and it's hilarious. And I know they're kind of in hot water with the political bent that they're taking with this current season, but to me, I think it's funny. South Park is known as poking fun at everybody, from every political philosophy, theological philosophy, gender, sexual orientation. Nothing is off limits for South Park, and I just think it's really weird that now people got a problem with what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's weird. So, but yeah, so a lot of the what I'm watching now are older or earlier seasons. And all this stuff I've missed because I've just been not plugged into South Park. The other thing I've been watching, or the other show that I have been watching, is Invincible. So there are three seasons of Invincible, I believe. I'm about midpoint or towards the end of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I like Invincible. If I was into comics, I would probably want to check out the comic series. From what I've heard, but I've heard they're super expensive to get a hold of now.
Only if you don't want the what would be called the
trades.
Yeah, the trades are really, really cheap. If you want to get the other stuff, then yeah, that might be a bit, but the trades themselves are not hard to get, and they have omnibuses now, and yeah, they're definitely worth it. Such a really good series, and it's a lot more brutal than, it's kind of funny to say this, but it's a lot more brutal than the cartoon. So
the cartoon, yeah,
the cartoon's pretty brutal, but the stuff that happens in the comic is just way more, like, you look at it and you're just like,
it's like
what
trauma
the hell?
inducing. Huh?
Well, it's not that it's trauma. It's just a lot of stuff that happens, and you're just kind of like, wait, what? This happened? Like, there's the stuff that happens to Mark and the stuff that happens to just the family that is just crazy. And the cartoon does a good job of exploring it, but there's just some stuff in there that's just like, damn. So
yeah, I might try to look up the trades. Like where I'm at right now, Mark is introduced to, I guess, another member of his family that he had no idea existed. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I know where you're at.
Yeah.
One thing I would recommend for you, Kevin, especially if you're talking about the cost of buying Invincible, is that it's available at your local county library. So,
it is.
It is, yes. Yeah, they have all of the omnibus volumes available. So, I've been tempted to pick them up myself. In fact, I know, especially with Invincible, that if you prefer to read it on the tablet, that they do have available digitally too as well. You could rent it digitally. So,
oh, okay. I did not realize that. I might look into that. But yeah, so Invincible has been a lot of fun, very gory. And really what kind of inspired me to go back and kind of check that series out again. It's like I watched season 1 and liked it, but I just never went back for season 2 or season 3 until now. But it was when I was at Evo and they had Invincible Versus, and I really enjoyed the demo that I played there, and it kind of got me thinking about the series again. So I hopped back on, and I've kind of been mainlining it when I have a block of free time available. So, but yeah, that's what I have been up to this past week. My jaw has finally stopped hurting. Praise the Lord. Because man, that extraction knocked me on my tuchus. But that's been it for me. So we're going to move on to our next topic on the docket, and that's going to be main event. So, all right, Des, you got the mic, my friend.
Alrighty. So thank you so much, Kev. So let you know that unfortunately we do not have a main event for this episode. But want to let you know that, as always, we want to try to, save this main event for times when we have a topic that we want to talk about and kind of kick around and get your ideas about, or we want to answer questions from our community. So if you have any questions or concerns or comments that you want to bring to us or ask the community, let us know. And you could do that on either where we're back on X. So you can shoot us a an X chat or a tweet or whatever I'm gonna call tweets over to us there, or you can go to our Blue Sky account, do the same thing, or if you're listening on I guess it would be YouTube, you could like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know. Tell your grandma she likes games. It'd be fantastic to hear from her. And if you want to find out how to do it from our Discord, please stay till the end, and Kev will let you know how you can do that. But you know, it follows me. It's the Jabroni Game and News.
Thank you, Des.
You're welcome, sir. What's on the news docket today, sir?
Well, there's a lot, so let's go and start off with the state of play for September of 2025.
So many games.
Of course, yeah. So at the PlayStation State of Play, it was about a 40-minute presentation and kind of covered things that we I feel noteworthy to discuss between the three of us.
Sure.
On here. So first thing that led off, they had a gameplay reveal for the game Saros on there. This is Housemarque's next game, basically, and showed a little bit of the combat movement, and which included some absorbing and reflecting projectiles on there. It has a release date of March 20th, 2026 on there. One thing I kind of got as far as the vibes of the gameplay is that they want the game to be at least a little bit more forgiving than Returnal. That's what I'm taking.
Good.
Look at this thing, yeah. So they
good. Returnal was rough, dude.
I know. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. You know, I want to see as far as, especially with the roguelike elements, as far as gaining abilities. And especially if you do die, that I know they have this one particular instance in the trailer where you could revive at least once instantaneously in your playthrough before obviously passing away, and then from there. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know about either of you two, but
yeah, I'm super excited for it. I thoroughly enjoyed Returnal. I have not finished it. I'm stuck on the boss at the end of Biome 2. Most people are getting stuck in Biome 3. But I think Eternal it is kind of like the arcade, almost like an arcade shmup, retranslated and reimagined for the modern era. That's kind of how I feel that Returnal is. And,
I can see that.
And Saros looks to build upon that, but fleshing out the game story with like NPCs, because based on what the I guess the developer was saying, that they have some well thought out and well acted NPCs that you're going to be coming in contact with. So I feel that that's just going to be the icing on an already well made cake. So Saros is that's a day one. That's a day one for me.
All right, good deal. All right, and then next thing that was shown was a new game from the developer of Disco Elysium. So this is from ZA/UM, and it was a game called Zero Parades. It kind of looked pretty interesting on there. I don't know if either of you two played Disco Elysium, but definitely had that same vibe to it, at least. So it's a spy fantasy. It embraces failure, quote unquote, on here. The full title is Zero Parades for Dead Spies on there. So, and I think, especially with the narrative-led gameplay a little bit, it looks interesting. Des, are you kind of looking forward to this thing, or did you like Disco Elysium, or did you dabble with it?
I did, and I think the thing about this that makes it very interesting is that it's going to be a from them, and you're going to have like risk. It's like you definitely can. What was it? You can even if you mess up, you can still like quote unquote complete your missions. You can complete what's going on. You can find out what's happening, and I think that's really kind of cool for the game. So I'm excited.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in too. I need to go back and because I bought Disco Elysium. I think Disco Elysium was a PlayStation Plus title at some point too. So something definitely could go take a look at and go from there. So next game that was shown was Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Got finally announced for PlayStation. It's the next Xbox game that's coming to PlayStation. It's coming out on December 8th, 2025. And Microsoft surprisingly is working on a PlayStation VR 2 mode to the game. So this is the only instance of where PlayStation VR 2 is even referenced in this PlayStation Direct. So, gotta love that Microsoft is the only publisher, at least on the state of play, that basically had a PlayStation VR title announced. So. On there, I don't think any of us are looking forward to playing Flight Simulator at all. So
I'm not a flight simulator type of person. So I mean, hey, I'm sure if folks want to do flight simulator stuff, then good for them. I know that Will D is a fan and he does it. So yeah, more power to him. If you want to do that, that's great.
Good deal.
It's just not my cup of tea, and
not my cup of tea either. And I don't think maybe if it's on PlayStation Plus, I had it on game. I still have access to it on Xbox Games Pass, and it's like there's too many games.
I would think that game is pretty difficult to play with just a standard controller.
You would think.
It seems to me that you would want a flight stick setup of some sort.
I'm pretty sure that they probably worked on accessibility, especially with that title, because they know that some people are only able to use a controller. So I'd be kind of curious to see how well they adapted it to a controller. So
to me, it's kind of like playing Gran Turismo with a controller. I feel you don't get the true experience unless you have a steering wheel set up, considering how sim-centric that series has been. So
Deus Ex Remastered was announced. So basically, if you ever wanted to play the first Deus Ex, it is coming February 2026 on there. So this is being done by the same development team that brought out the Tomb Raider remastered games on there. And so the first Deus Ex basically is a very like open-ended RPG, and so I know especially later on the series kind of evolved then from there. But we'll see if this remaster is cool or not. So
I know the homie Damon loves the first Deus Ex. If we're talking video games or something like that, he'll often bring that one up.
Yeah. Last Epoch got a surprise announcement on the state of play. It is coming out for PlayStation 5, and so if you're not familiar with Last Epoch, it's a very much a ARPG, so similar to Diablo in that kind of vein. It's a time-bending ARPG at that. So, and they also announced that its first major expansion, Orobis, will come day and date on PlayStation as well. So if you like games kind of similar to Path of Exile, Diablo, this game will definitely be on that same wheelhouse on there. I've been keeping an eye on this game on PC on Steam on there. I think it's been on my wish list on there. So I'm definitely interested to take a look at it once it does come out on there. There is no per se date right now that was announced for the game, so hopefully it's sooner than later, but we'll see on here. I'm definitely interested. I'll probably pick this up day one, and I don't know if, Des, you're like my ARP buddy, so I don't know if this game is up in your wheelhouse or not.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, buddy. I mean, are you? I don't know.
It's a day one for me. So.
Oh, okay. Well then, hey, I'm gonna have to play it at your house.
Sure. We got a release date for Seven Deadly Sins. So Seven Deadly Sins is a free-to-play action RPG. It's Seven Deadly Sins Origin. It's launching on January 28th on PlayStation 5 on there. So if you're a fan of the anime, check that out. It's an open world RPG on there. It's obviously got all the gotcha you ever want. Gotcha. So on there. So take a look at it. I think it looks pretty cool as far as the game. I mean, I've never watched the anime. I don't know if you watched the anime before with Seven Deadly Sins. I know I have some people I've talked to that are really big fans of the series. So
I watched season 1 and I don't think I finished it. I mean, it's okay. It for whatever reason, it just didn't grab me like I thought it would. But it's okay. I think a lot of people either love it, and the few people that don't like it can't stand it. I'm kind of like, it's all right. And I probably should go back and try to check out and finish that first season and maybe check out some of the other subsequent ones, but it just didn't hook me.
Never got into it, unfortunately.
Yeah, one thing about the game too, it does have some multiplayer features to the game. So there is basically co-op, so it has seamless co-op, and you could play up to 5 players and tackle dungeons down and take down bosses, so on and so forth. So that might kind of make this game stand out from your usual Genshin Impacts of the world and so on and so forth, because of the fact that it can be played multiplayer. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Mega Man got confirmed for Sega Sonic Racing's Cross Worlds, so I'm not interested in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds in the least. I don't know if either of us on the show, anyone on the show, maybe Kev, maybe, right?
I'll probably be getting it. I don't want. I'm not going to pay full price for it. I feel that that's going to be like a Black Friday get for me.
Agreed.
But I do want to play it.
I'll check it out at your house. How about that? So. Neo 3 got a release date. So basically, Neo 3 is going to be coming out. And it will be out on February 6th, 2026 on there. So I don't know if any of us are looking forward to it. It's like I've dabbled with Neo 1 a little bit, but I've not really proceeded to play forth the game. I don't know if the game's going to be rough a little bit, I know, Kev, you've played Neo at least a little bit, right?
I played Neo 1 and a little bit of Neo 2. Both of them, what pulled me away was the stamina bar. I felt that the stamina bar was way too restrictive for combat.
Mm.
Neo, this one, Neo 3, I'm really kind of interested in to see how it plays. If there's a stamina bar present, I won't mind if it is not such a hindrance on like combat expression. If it's too much of a hindrance, like I felt the first 2 were, then I'm out. But if it's there just to keep you on your toes, not allowing you to spam, overpowered moves, so you actually have to concentrate on boss patterns, avoidance, parries, blocks, that type of thing, then I'm in. So I'll just have to see more of the combat and a more in-depth explanation of the systems.
One thing that they did kind of point out is that there is basically 2 different fighting styles in the game. There's Samurai and Ninja. And by pressing the R2 button, you basically are able to swap between the 2 on there. And you could do it in-game while you're, working and playing, working combos, so on and so forth. So you could actually go back and forth between the 2 different styles on there while you're playing. So it's like, instead of concentrating on one type of build, you're able to actually use 2 different types of builds, separate builds in the game while playing.
That sounds cool on paper, but sounds confusing as all get out to me in actual execution. It's like, I don't know, when I'm playing an action game that is build based, I kind of want to have a focus on the build at hand, and being able to just like automatically switch to a whole other build. Like, I don't know. I understand I understand that it's a great way to expand, like, say, combat expression, a great way to maybe break down a boss that maybe switches tactics in between phases, but I don't know. My old man brain just it's kind of like, what? Okay, a whole nother build. Okay, so it's like I don't know. I don't know, but I'll need to. I want to see some more in-depth explanation of the systems. I kind of want to see this game get in the hands of YouTube influencers so they can go in depth into it, and see how all that turns out as the game's release date approaches. So I'll be paying attention to it.
All right, well, definitely keep us updated on there. Now, another game that got announced that probably is more in my wheelhouse, maybe yours too, Desmond, is Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered. Is coming out on March 19th, 2026. So this takes Dynasty Warriors 3 with all of its DLC, its complete edition, remastered for current generation consoles. So it's coming out for everything, not just PlayStation. So it'll be out on Switch 2 and on Xbox and on PC on there. But, I always love me some Musos, so definitely something to keep an eye out for from there. I know, Kev, you like some Muso too, so if you want to bash in with some Lubu.
Yeah. I still got to finish Origins, so.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I haven't even finished Origins yet.
I'm just trying to, I don't know. So think about Dynasty Warriors. Like, I think I might try Origins because you can create your own character and do this other stuff, and following. Like, I'm sorry, like the Yellow Menace? Like, I keep seeing those poor guys over and over again, and I'm just like,
the yellow turban guys.
Yeah, sorry, Yellow Turban. I'm just like, oh, come on, guys,
all the slaughter. It's like,
slaughter.
Yeah, I know.
Yellow Turban slaughter.
Yeah. Code Vein 2 got an announcement and a new release date, or a new trailer and a release date. So it's coming out on January 30th, 2026. So check that out. I'm not sure if in Interview 2, I know I dabbled in the first one a little bit, but never really got through it all that much, So, even at PAX when they had the Code Vein 2 exhibit where you could ride the bike on there was no long line for that. No one seemed like they were kind of interested in it from there, but
no one did.
I know.
So
this one,
I don't know. I don't. People just didn't seem to like it, so, or were not impressed by it, or something. I don't know.
I remember the first game.
Go ahead.
No, I just remember the first game got discounted very quickly. So
combat seems faster in this one. I played the first one, really didn't like it that much. I thought the combat was too slow. It was very bloodborne, but seemed slower to me. But this one, the combat seems a little bit quicker. I don't know if either of you watched the Bandai Namco TGS floor demo that they had, or stage demo that they had of this game. They kind of fleshed a few things out. The companion that you have the option to either have them be on the field or in your head. There's a term that they used, and if you keep them in your head, the different companions you'll have access to in the game will give your main character different buffs. So, like you can have if you decide to keep your companion in your head, you may have access to some powers or abilities that you will not have if you have them on the field helping you out in battle. I thought that was pretty dope. Combat was definitely faster than the first game. Parrying is a big part of the combat that I saw. And one of the things they wanted to make sure folks understood was they have what they called a very in-depth character creation. Like there was a whole lot of emphasis on the character creation and a whole lot of emphasis on hairstyles. So I'm thinking for black folk, we may get something more than the Killmonger and the fro and the 70s fro. We may actually be getting some halfway decent black hair expressions in a Japanese game. I mean, they didn't go in; they kind of scrolled through it really fast, But I was like, I'm not seeing the Killmonger. I'm seeing a fade. I'm seeing a couple other options here. Okay, I see you, Namco Bandai. I see you. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually kind of interested in this game.
After looking at the material right now, seems like they have weapons too with the characters you could create. So there you could choose between one-handed swords, two-handed swords, bayonets, halberds, great hammers, rune blades, and dual swords. So it almost sounds Monster Hunter-esque to me a little bit. So
it's not bad.
I guess in this case, God Eater-esque. Well,
yeah, that maybe that too.
Yeah, because I think they're both in the same universe. I think.
Oh wow!
Code Vein and God Eater in the same universe. So yeah, I'm interested in it. I think I want to see more, but what I've seen, I'm intrigued by.
Yeah, if there's a multiplayer event, I'm not sure. I don't think this is single player through and through, but
I think it's single player. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was multiplayer, might even think about it, a little bit more on there. So next game of note is this new Metroidvania called Chronoscript: The Endless End. It's coming to PlayStation 5 in 2026, but the art style had a really unique premise on there. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the Plucky Squire a little bit, where you're actually basically put into a comic world on there, and you're basically running through, and the art style of the game has a very hand-drawn style, impromptu, comic book style on there, and the map of the entire game unfolds. You could see it being laid on a series of tables and desks on there while you're making your way through the game on there through the manuscript on that. So I like the art style. I felt it was a little bit distinct, as far as from what we usually see with Metroidvanias. But I'll have to take a look at this one. I think it definitely caught my eye. Guys, you were kind of interested in this one too.
Possibly. Again, I can't really say yay or nay to it, until I actually play it.
Yeah. All right. Crimson Desert did get a new trailer and a release date, so it's coming out on March 19th, 2026 on here. I've been keeping an eye on this game. I mean, especially because, it definitely has a Skyrim / some game in that vein as far as bent on there. It's Korean developed, so, the art style is second to none.
That game still looks too good to believe.
I know.
It still looks too good to believe. I'm going to have to wait until that game is playable, if not in the wild, then by people who have actually been able to get their hands on it and can actually give an unrestricted opinion of it, because it's like it's trying to do so many different things. And in a world that seems ridiculously huge, but I wonder. It just seems like there's something is going to have to give. Either that world is going to be very barren with only certain things to do across the map, or this thing is just going to chug like a slug on console. I just don't see how it's going to be able to do all the things it's claiming to be able to do with the fidelity that they're proclaiming in any kind of reasonable frame rate.
See, I know they're talking about that everything's on PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's an open world game. Basically, you're roaming, going through and doing some adventuring missions, quests, puzzles, and you're actually advertising too that they have things like cooking, mining, gathering, fishing, crafting in the game as well. So
yeah, I mean, I hope they can. I hope they can do it. I hope they pull it off. I hope, because it's definitely a game type that I would be interested in playing. You know, it kind of gives me that, you know, like the Monster Hunter or the
Dragon's Dogma,
the Dragon's Dogma vibe. I'm in that zone of that. I'm in the playing field for where that game is aiming, but it just seems so hot. It's like striving to do so many things that I feel that something critical is going to suffer in the end product. I just kind of feel, at least on console. You know, if you're running a $4,000 5090, then you probably don't have too much to worry about. But folks, those of us on living the peasant life, I just feel that we may be in for some flip booking. I'll put it that way.
Any thoughts on Crimson Desert, Des? I know, especially as it being an RPG.
I want it to be good. You know, yeah. I'm like, let's go. But again, I think Kevin is right. You know, how is it actually going to be? Because I really don't know.
Yeah. I'm curious about it. So, I mean, especially if there's a multiplayer element to it. I think it's single player. I think so.
If it's single player, to me, in order to maintain the scope it's proclaiming, it would have to be single player. Because I don't see how you would be able to do all that and maintain that fidelity in an online multiplayer environment.
Yeah, it looks like it's an open world single player game. So
yeah,
but there's going to be a separate multiplayer component post launch, according to the developer. So kind of similar to like GTA Online. So basically, it's single player to begin with. They're saying that the base game will offer around 50 to 80 hours of gameplay, where the online mode, which is coming later, will allow you to create your own stories and basically engage with other people. So It does have both components to it. So see, I'm doing my research on the fly over here.
It's great to see, Joe.
Of course. Another thing that was introduced in the PlayStation State of Play was the new Pulse Elevate speakers on here. So Sony is bringing out wireless speakers for desktop gaming. So basically, these speakers are wireless. They use the PlayStation Link on there. There is a microphone built in. They were using some case examples where you're picking up these speakers and putting them into your bedroom, so you could use PlayStation Portal on there to be able to have your speakers on the go necessarily in every room of the house. So. And of course, these speakers also work on PC, so I think it's for gamers, especially that game in the PC style setup where they're playing with a monitor, office chair, a desk if need be. So I don't think these speakers will drive a 65-inch TV necessarily per se, but
I know you're interested in peripherals. So is this something that you're interested in?
I'm interested in, because I do have a office setup where I'm going to place a PlayStation 5 Pro in, and basically something to where I do have some powered PC speakers, but to be able to use these instead I think will kind of sell me on it. My only thing is that they're probably going to cost at least $200 in my estimation. So, so I'll have to see what happens once they do come out. They're coming out in 2026. So, and then last but not least, they unveiled gameplay for Marvel's Wolverine. So Insomniac's game got a big glow up in the state of play, and so they finally showed us everything about the game. I think everyone's excited for it. It's coming in fall 2026 on there. So I'm going to kind of kick it around, Robin. I'll go over to you, Des. What's your overall impressions of Marvel's Wolverine?
I think it's going to be great. I'm here for it. I think Wolverine needs to have his own thing, and this is it. you know.
Yeah,
you know?
I think Insomniac looks like they are, basically taking the same care as they did with Marvel Spider-Man and be able to, do what they want to do with the title on there. I think they're especially focusing on the gore and wanting to keep true to Wolverine's quote-unquote spirit on there. So they kept the combat as visceral as possibly they could on there. So this is definitely an M-rated title on here. I don't know if when, little Jimmy's going to go and want to play the game, probably little Jimmy's going to be all up.
Oh, little Jimmy's going to be. This ain't stopping little Jimmy. Little Jimmy
I know.
playing this.
This is not.
I mean, little Jimmy was playing every Grand Theft Auto that I attended a midnight release for. Little Jimmy was all over them GameStop. So this ain't gonna stop little Jimmy.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No. Not at all. Ain't gonna stop little Desmond either.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, because soccer mom just wants to keep little Jimmy's mouth shut. So she's gonna be. Well, that's a Marvel character. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Isn't that Hugh Jackman? I like Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be all like clawing someone's face off, but
Then he was saying, "Let's go, bub," to all his little kindergarten friends and stabbing them with plastic forks and spoons, and they wonder, "Gee, what happened?"
Yeah.
So looking forward to this, Kev, too.
Without question. Yeah. This game had to be visceral. It had to be bloody. I don't see how you can have a character with a healing factor who has ice picks for claws, for lack of a better term, and runs around. His only offense is his ability to stab stuff and have it not be bloody. I mean, I'm glad that I know there in the developer diary there was one. It was the lady who was speaking, and she was like, "Well, I was thinking that stabbing the person through the head was. We thought that was too much. No, that's not too much. That's what Wolverine does.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be true to the character, you have to bring that level of violence into this project.
Yep. 100%. Let
you
him
gotta
kill people.
do it. You gotta do it. You can't be SNK and have him be cutting and knocking the sweat off of people. You can't do that. This you need to be able to teach an anatomy class when Wolverine is done. That's what this game has to be, and it looks like that's very much what they're going for.
Yep. I'm here for it. 100%. Sign me up.
Good deal. So we're going to move on after the state of play. They did have a Xbox Tokyo Game Show 2025 broadcast. So Phil Spencer came on to say konnichiwa and domo arigato and all that business, So they basically were showing games and other things that were Asian inspired. So, you got to see all the Xbox heads of state: Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, all trying to speak bad Japanese / other Asian languages on
Hello,
there.
fellow Asian people. That's like the that's kind of like the vibe I get whenever they do these Tokyo game shows. It's like, oh
Konnichiwa,
man,
fellow
konnichiwa, fellow Asians.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll go through this pretty quickly. They did have
It
some
was a good show,
announcements in this.
though. It was a good show.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about the show. It was just having them up there. I'm like,
Well,
That's like
Well-
it's like having a narc sitting in your homeroom, trying to pass himself off as a student.
That's
21
funny.
Jump Street.
too bad we don't see Herman Hulse like, konnichiwa gamers.
Well, I'm glad he doesn't do that because
I
that
know.
is so corny. It's like
Yep.
it's cornball. It's like nobody want to see that. I'm sure those Japanese players have no interest in that. They just want to see the game, just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, well, let's get this thing started. First, their hot first new game to unveil is Gungrave. So it's Gungrave Gore Blood Heat was announced. So it's a full rebirth of the series on here. So if you remember the first Gungrave Gore game that came out, the remake, they're remaking it again, bringing out Blood Heat on here. So, and I know that you've played Gungrave Gore, I believe, Kev, right?
I have every Gungrave that has been available for purchase in the U.S. I know that I don't think all of them have. I think the first one that I have was on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that was the one that Sega brought out, yeah.
Okay, and I have purchased whenever there's a Gungrave Gore available for purchase in the States, I have it. So yeah, I will be adding this one to the collection. I have to say, they don't necessarily play all that great, particularly on the harder difficulty levels. But if you just want to turn your mind off and just slip into a world of anime-inspired mindless violence, there's nothing better than a Gungrave game.
That's good.
Because that's basically all you're doing. You're just literally walking and shooting with these obscenely large semi-automatic pistols, and you're carrying your own casket on your back that is filled with rocket launchers, and it can repel explosives. It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. But I think that's what makes that series so good. And yeah, I'll be there day one. I only hope that they make a physical edition.
We'll have to see. The game is actually coming out on November 12th. It's coming out for everything, including PlayStation, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It's launching day one on Game Pass. That's why it's on the showcase on here. But this is a remake of the Gungrave Gore game that 2022 rebuilt entirely in Unreal Engine 5. So we'll have to see how well
that could be good. That could be bad, but
it could be bad.
So.
Yeah. Next thing that was shown was Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. So this was shown at the most recent Nintendo Direct on here. They did show a subsequent trailer and announced that it is coming out day one on Game Pass once it is available. So on there. So if you're a Fatal Frame fan and you have an Xbox, guess what? You're eating good. So next trailer shown was a Pokemon-inspired game. Of course, Xbox, loves their Pokemon inspired indie titles like Pal World. So this new game is called Amino. So it's an open world action RPG where you could capture creatures called Anemo and then either control them or fuse with them, combat and exploration. So
As you do.
This is as it's Xbox Play Anywhere title, but there's no confirmation of release date. They said pre-registration is open, so if you want to check it out, check it out. Monster Hunter Stories 3 got shown as well, so it's coming out for Xbox on March 13th, 2026. And so they decided to throw Xbox owners a bone and sending out Xbox coming in November on there. So I don't know how well it's going to sell, but hopefully Capcom can make that money back. But we'll see.
Ain't nobody gonna buy it. Who we kidding?
Next thing was shown was Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. So it is coming out on October 30th, 2025. They did show us a certain sequence of the game where it was added to the game. Basically, it's new. It's a brand new area called the Ocean Floor. So, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks great. I'll be playing it not on Xbox, but hey, say love you. So, Ninja Gaiden 4 was shown. So, Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming October 21st, but Itagaki would be rolling in his grave because they're bringing out a mode, Hero mode. So, Hero mode is designed for casual playthrough, giving you auto guard, auto dodge, and that can be toggled mid game to match your comfort levels. So, I think what Itagaki and prior Ninja Gaidens, I think this was entitled Ninja Dog mode, I think, right?
No, there was never a mode that allowed that would block for you. Never. This Itagaki would call this, what the F mode, because he would never have it in his game.
What the F mode? That's
yeah. Okay. I don't have a problem with it being there because I've just accepted that this is just where gaming is in 2025. I know that as I'm getting older, as much as I like playing these fast and frenetic action games, I get frustrated at my own lack of reflexes in some of them. But the difference between me and the folks that this mode is aimed for is I stay in those difficulty levels, because it's like when I get into that zone, it's like I'm just not going to let this game beat me. I'm not going to lower the difficulty. This is why it's like I remember there used to be a day when I can remember a day when I could cut through Ninja Master mode levels like it was nothing, but it's like those days are gone, and a part of me is just too vain to accept that. So I will never use that mode. But I get that some folks who maybe want to get into a title like this and were maybe put off by the difficulty of the game's prior versions. I understand the sentiment, but also those folks who were put off by Ninja Gaiden's difficulty, I don't think are buying this game to begin with. I think when they see that, they see multiple enemies attacking at the same time, area of effect attacks that you have to take into consideration, crowd control, all this stuff going on at the same. By the way, Ninja Gaiden 4 looks amazing in my opinion. All of my concerns have been laid to rest in the gameplay that I have observed. I feel like I can buy this game in full confidence that Team Ninja has this series where it should be, mechanically, game frame rate wise, all that stuff. So I will be buying this game at 100% confidence. But the folks that they're trying to get to pull into this series are probably not interested in this game to begin with. So I felt that might have been time wasted. That could have been making the harder difficulty levels even more exciting to play.
Yeah, they did talk about the Master Ninja mode, which is for hardcore difficulty, basically. So,
which you have to unlock. Which is something else that Itagaki, he had the hardest level available from the jump in Ninja Gaiden, in the original Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden 2. They changed that, if memory served, in Ninja Gaiden 3 and Razor's Edge. But did it? I think that's how it was. I could be wrong, but I get it, but I understand it's not going to deter my desire to want to play this game day one, but I think that they might be barking up a tree that no dogs are going to be hanging out at.
Well, I think the reason why they might have added the hero mode, think about it, is that this game's going to be accessible for everyone on Xbox Game Pass, and so you're going to have definitely people downloading this game that might not put forth their $60, $70 on a Ninja Gaiden title that maybe want to play around with it, and so I think that mode is there for those particular gamers or people that might be interested that just happen to have access to Game Pass and want to download and check it out at least. So
those people ain't gonna like Ninja Gaiden anyway. I mean, it's like that's like trying to sell a barbecue to a vegetarian. They ain't going for it. If this type of game appealed to them, they would have been into it already.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, if and Game Pass, I don't know, if I'm a creator, do I want the people, am I going to be aiming my efforts at folks that are just looking to just, who had no interest in the prior versions of this game, who are just going to maybe download it and get their butts kicked and not even think about going into the difficulty modes and trying to make adjustments? They're not into it. Otherwise, they'd already been into it. I mean, there's some games that you're either into it or you're not. Like Borderlands has a broad appeal, right? The series has a broad appeal, but when they make changes or they make decisions to bring other people in who maybe haven't messed with a Borderlands game before, those decisions make sense. Ninja Gaiden is for hardcore masochists, action game masochists like me. That's a niche group. Folks who are not into that are not going to be swayed by play my game for me daddy mode. They're not.
It would be interesting though.
I understand the thinking from a game that has more broader appeal. Like I said, for a Borderlands to do something like that, or make decisions in that line of accessibility, that makes sense. Ninja Gaiden, no, it really doesn't.
All right, pretty much the rest of the show was, there's a lot of Xbox focus, like, hey, Fallout 76 fans, we have a Japanese-inspired map just for you. Or, hey, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 fans, we have these Japanese-themed multiplayer maps ready for you because we like Japan on here. So,
as you do,
you got a lot of that stuff. Oh yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator. You could fly to Osaka and Kyoto and fly to Tokyo Tower, Fuji. So, yay! And then even the third parties got into the mix. Like Hitman: World of Assassination can download a new Bruce Lee Celebrity Target on there. So, and then they had the James Bond new game, which I can't think of off the top of my head. Let's see, it is James Bond First Light Project 007. They have a new female Japanese protagonist on here. So as far as in your game, so just I love the fact that they just had to get all these Asian inspired trailers and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, they did announce Forza Horizon 6, which is going to be in Japan. It has a 2026 release window. It's launched day one on Xbox Series S and PC. And of course, the bill's got to get paid, so it's coming out on PlayStation 5 as well. Will not come out on launch on PlayStation 5. It will later. So if you're an Xbox fan, guess what? You get to play Forza Horizon 6 first on there. So
if this is like a midnight, if this is their spin on Midnight Club, which I hope it is, I would be inclined to play this one. I'm not typically a fan of the Horizon series because I don't like the way their cars control. But if this can capture Midnight Club, underground racing in Tokyo, rolling around in your wide body kitted out Skyline, I would be there to play that game. But I just kind of feel that they're just going to yuck it up with all the like the Mountain Dew advertisements and the radio stations playing that I don't like, that I wish we were Nirvana, different groups on the radio. And it's just like, I hope they don't corporatize it to death. And I hope they can really tap into, like the underground car modification, car performance scene, that on for street racing. I really hope they can tap into that and not.
I don't know, because you're dealing with like
I know, yeah, I know,
Horizon.
I know,
Hey,
yeah,
party
exactly.
people.
You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, party people. Yeah, it's like
party folks.
Let's go.
Yes.
And then of course
I don't want them to. Let's go. I want them to.
I doubt it, but yeah, this is the same franchise Libre like theme mission in Forza. I forgot which Forza Horizon was based in Mexico, but
wasn't that 4?
Yeah, it's either 4 or 5. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know after a while, but I just remember that Libre mission is like, okay.
What?
You had to like, bring a Lucha Libre mask and bring Juan's Lucha Libre mask over to a point on the map.
Of course his name was Juan, of course.
Come on. It's got to be Juan.
Yeah. Oh, this segment's long gone. Let's move on here. And
wow, really?
Well, since we're talking about Xbox, we finally got the price for the Xbox ROG Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X.
All right, I'm here for it. Let's go. How much, Joe?
$599.99 for the base model, and for the Ally X, you're going to spend $999. So
that seems okay, right?
By the ROG that's out now.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna buy it.
It's just.
They said that the ergonomics of the Xbox Ally is a little bit better than the ROG Ally. So,
I mean, that's good and all, but I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Well, we'll see how it does on here. So, I know they're really holding off unveiling the price until the last minute because it's coming out like in 2 weeks, basically. So,
dang.
Really?
It's coming out on October 26th. October 16th, excuse me. And they just barely announced the price like 2 days ago. So,
okay. I mean, right. I won't be getting it, and I would be curious to know who of our listeners would be, because I really would like to see, like, what are they, like what is it that's making you like, want to get it, and is it going to be super cool? Just what's going on with it, what's
I'd
really
like to see other people's use case for it.
Exactly,
I like my Steam Deck. I mean, I think portable PCs are cool, so we'll have to see. So
Yeah, the
When
problem isn't what it is, it's that you can get the same damn thing now for cheaper. That's the problem. The performance delta is not that great according to the people that understand the tech that's in it and understand the tech that's in the flagship ROG now. It's not that great. It's like you can just go out and get the ROG that's out now. That's the thing that I find so perplexing, is that they just reskinned it, rounded some edges, and said slap $1,000 on it. I don't know. I mean, hey, you earn that money, spend it how you want. But if I'm in the market for a quote unquote Xbox handheld, I'm looking at the ROGs that are out on the market right now. I'm not looking at this at all, because once that Windows handheld OS comes out, you'll be able to download it on any PC handheld device that you have in your possession, and it'll work the same way.
Well, one thing about the Xbox now, you won't be able to find the ROG LAX at your local Costco location. So Costco has stopped selling Xbox consoles in both the UK, US, and worldwide. Here. So basically, if they quietly removed all instances of Xbox on the Costco website, in store, there is no more Xbox products being sold. I know there was a Costco in New Zealand that posted that they were blowing out Xbox Series X for like 50% off on there.
Dang.
So yeah, on there. And Costco basically said, we're sorry, we're not able to find a match. That they did contact a Costco rep, and they basically said that they're no longer carrying the Xbox, but they still have great deals on both Switch and PlayStation 5 consoles if need be. So
the consoles that people are actually buying.
Yeah.
Especially after this last round of price increases, it's like nobody's going to be buying these things.
I don't think so, unfortunately. I want them to do okay, but they're not doing it. So
yeah. Well, in other gaming retail news, of course, GameStop has just like been screwing the pooch this past week. So, U.S. Silent Hill F fans have been pissed off on there because basically GameStop offered a pre-order steelbook for people that pre-ordered Silent Hill F on there, and of course, they got little to no allocation of said steelbooks on there. So, and this story's going to get personal because I pre-ordered Silent Hill F because I wanted that steelbook, and I pre-ordered that Silent Hill F like about maybe 4 or 5 months ago after they revealed that they were having a steelbook pre-order bonus. I figured that might as well go for it. So, I got to my said retailer on Thursday at GameStop, and they basically said that they got a rush of people right when they open wanting their steelbook because the way they handled the steelbook allocations is that online orders, they weren't able to send the steelbook. They said, take your receipt and go down to the store and go grab your steelbook, so.
Oh my gosh.
And imagine if you just took a facsimile of a receipt, like a copy of a receipt. There's no way that they're going to double check or that. So the manager, Joe, wound up telling me that there was a line at the door wanting their Silent Hill steelbooks right when they open. And of course, they're dealing with all sorts of shenanigans and ish with Pokemon TCG and all that kind of thing. So, so basically, I did not get no Silent Hill F steelbook on there. So I wound up just return my copy of Silent Hill because I'm not going to reward GameStop, and paying full retail price for this thing when I didn't get the pre-order bonus that I want. But of course, on eBay, of course, find anything on eBay, and so it's up there. Certain bids, you can basically see it's being sold for anywhere from $30 to $200 on eBay right now. So,
So was this a Konami issue or was this a GameStop issue?
this is a GameStop issue. So, of course, someone contacted Konami, and Konami said, "Well, this is a something that was with a third-party vendor, I guess, that they partnered with, and that basically it's between GameStop and that third-party vendor on there." So
it may not have been truly a GameStop issue. It may, maybe because they chose the vendor to provide the steelbook, you can put the blame on them. But maybe there was some supply issues with getting the allocations out. But then I guess you could say it still fell on GameStop to notify folks who had made those pre-orders and say, hey, we only got an allocation of X. We can't guarantee you that you're going to get the steelbook. So,
Yeah. There's some stores that they even get any steelbooks at all. Or there's other commenters. Yeah. And another GameStop employee said they got 9 steelbooks for 30 plus pre-orders of the game.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
And so, I don't know why companies like Konami and other companies partner with GameStop, because it's like Konami partnered with Amazon for the UK release of the game. There was no issue with everyone getting their steelbook. So, and to add more salt to the wound, of course, Xbox went out with, Pokemon partnered with GameStop, of course, and they released shinies for both Scarlet and Violet on here. And basically, it was kind of crazy that they released it the same day that certain games came out, as far as the Pokemon CCG, that they had a pre-order frenzy for the latest expansion, the Mega Evolution expansion set, was released on the same day. So all of the codes for the shinies for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet basically were taken by those people scalping the CCG at GameStop. So if you look on eBay, you could actually see where they're putting up on bid shiny codes from GameStop for that game.
So
it's
folks were double dipping.
Yeah, in fact, I went over to GameStop on Saturday about if they still had Pokemon cards. No, they basically the code that they were supposed to be distributing for just a couple of shinies in Scarlet and Violet, pretty much they all went the way of the dodo, because all the scalpers then went to go buy the Mega Evolution expansion. They all put them up on eBay and codes up there for $40 each. It's like, I'm not paying even, I wouldn't even pay $3 shiny gift. So it's kind of ridiculous to release that on the same day as they release the latest expansion for Pokemon, because it's nothing like those scalpers to get out and about on there. When I was at GameStop on Saturday, I wound up people came in asking if they had the Pokemon expansions available, and of course, you'd have to wait in line. So from what Joe was telling me, the manager at my local GameStop, there was people that wanted to stand in line starting on Monday, and it came out Friday.
Monday?
Yeah. And then they basically told them, you cannot line up in front of the store until we close on Thursday. He said that security might come out to tell you to get, because you have no right to assemble, so on and so forth. So it's like,
jeez Louise.
Okay, so I have a question about this whole Pokemon stuff at GameStop. Mm-hmm. Does GameStop have the vending machines, or are they still, or do they still have the open boxes like they used to when I used to go to the GameStop here closer to my house, and they would have open boxes and you can just grab however many packs you wanted and buy them there? How does the Pokemon stuff work at GameStop now for the cards?
They're in their little depending on what they are. If they're big packaging or a big set, then they will have them in like boxes, because they come in like different like player boxes. So I'm trying to say the right word. There's like booster packs, and then there's like decks where you already have a main, like set that you can just buy the actual pack that has 60 cards that you can play. And then there's like booster packs that you can buy. And so what you're talking about is like you would just have like a whole bunch of packs and you could pick them up and then like buy them. All those are on pegs on the walls, and usually all during a new release, because there's so many people that want them. They are sometimes behind the counter, sometimes they are you got to ask for them, and it's just now that GameStop is a huge distributor of collectible card games. I can only imagine that it's just annoying to have to go in there and then try to get someone to help you do something or anything. It just sounds horrible. I would never want to do that or have anyone do that for me. It just ugh.
So is it the starter packs or the booster packs that people are going in and flipping?
It's probably it's probably both. It's probably both at this point.
It's a new
it's a new set.
Yeah, it's a new set. So yeah, unfortunately, they usually put a sign on the door saying, "Hey, our location's getting X amount," and that basically they do limit it per customer. So you are only allowed to get so much, and so they've had like arguments like, I got 5 kids and whatever.
Yeah, I want to be my kids. Like, why aren't you allowing my kids to do it? And like that, and you're like,
same thing happened with the Switch 2, because like some woman came in and said she wanted to buy a Switch 2 for all 6 of her kids, and
that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's dumb.
Yep. So
that's just dumb.
Yeah, there is a purchase limit at GameStop at least, so I guess gets everyone all crazy. But they released this basically the shiny code on the same day that they released a Pokemon CG expansion, and so of course those people that would normally give 2 rats shit about code distribution for the actual Pokemon video games grabbed it up and threw it up on eBay just like everything else they bought. So It's like.
Damn. I mean, I don't blame them, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
People are going to do
you can't get mad
at craziness,
You can't get mad at it unless it's something you're trying to get.
Yeah.
But I ain't mad at the premise of it.
I guess supply and demand will win the day no matter what. So
100%, sir. 100%.
So I have given up my Silent Hill F Steelbook. I have actually taken the game back to GameStop. I told them I don't want it. If I can't get the Steelbook, guess what? I don't want the game. So I'll buy it later and get it cheaper. So
yeah, Joe, you stick to your guns, sir.
You got it.
You let him know Joe's not one to be messed with.
You know it. All right, and then let's round out the news with some release dates and other things. Of course, RGG had a little showcase. So, of course, if you ever wanted more Yakuza games, and you have more Yakuza. So Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on December the 8th. This was the one that they just brought out for Switch 2. If you happen to own the original game on either PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, guess what? There is no upgrade path. So buy it new or deal with it. So also, too, Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 are coming for the PS5, Xbox Series on December 8th as well on there. So they're both getting physical releases. So they're coming with added language support on here. So I'm not sure what's different between these versions and the versions that were already previously released for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. But I guess if you want to go out and purchase this game again, guess what? You have a means to do so. So it's in the collection. So Kiwami 1 and 2 are on one physical release, basically. So you're able to grab that. And then another thing they announced, they're doing a remaster of Kiwami 3. So this is Yakuza 3 basically brought out in the Kiwami series. So it's coming out for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series P, Switch 2, and PC. It's going to be out on February 12th. On there, they're actually doing an additional DLC that's new called Dark Ties on there. So if you want to continue to play more Yakuza games, guess what? You have a new remastered game in Yakuza Kiwami 3. So that's a lot of Yakuza in said life. So
that is.
It is. So if you're a Yakuza fan, guess what? You you're eating good out there. So Tiny Metal 2 got announced. So a game that Des bought from Limited Run back in the day for the
Back
Switch.
in the day.
Way back in the day, and it took Limited Run like 3 years to get us the actual game. So
it did.
Yep. So Tokyo developer Area 35 have announced a sequel called Tiny Metal 2. It's coming out for PC and other platforms to be announced. So if they happen to release a physical, guess what? I'm probably not buying it. So. And then last but not least, Neo Geo and SNK are now doing what they call the Neo Geo Premium Selection. So, and these are different editions of the game, of said games that they're going to, basically spiffy up and, do what they need to do, add rollback netcode, so on and so forth. So the first game that they're doing in this collection is Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, The Newcomers. It's actually was shadow drop for Steam. It was released for $20 on there. So this includes basically everything that you'd ever want in a re-release. It has rollback netcode with 9-player lobbies, tournament and spectator modes, a new training mode, and so I might take a look at this, Kev. I don't know if you like Real Bout 2. I know it's the game that was kind of elusive because it was never released for Saturn or any other as far as it was part of collections later on in the game. But I really like Real Bout 2. I like the whole Real Bout.
Yeah, I'll be checking it out, definitely. My only concern though is that sometimes these older games do not work well with leverless controllers, and I am leverless with all my fighting games, so I'd be interested in seeing how if the input function has been loosened to allow for leverless play. If not, that could be an issue. I mean, I still have an arcade stick, but it's like the heaviest controller I have. I'm not going to be dragging that thing out to play RB2. But yeah, that's really my only concern.
Yeah, I know in the comments on the story they were kind of like, saying that, Capcom has released like, multiple titles into one collection for about to say a little bit more than that same $20 price. So
yeah, that does seem high, but if they're implementing all these upgrades, I don't mind paying people for the work that they do.
Yeah.
If they're implementing all of these upgrades and changes and quality of life systems into a very old game, I don't mind that. But and also a Real Bout 2, in my opinion, was, although it played very well, it had the worst storyline, the worst story mode of all the Real Bout games. It really was tantamount to just like
whatever flimsy plot they had.
Flimsy plot, and then having the player select icons kind of vibrating and having text at the bottom of the screen. It was so phoned in. That was the most disappointing aspect of Real Bout 2. I thought it played well. I thought the graphics were on point. I thought it was a great game overall, but it just had a very poor story mode. It was not very well implemented at all.
All right, and that is Jabroni Gaming News for this episode. We made it.
We made it. Looks like we made it.
Yeah, we're
Game night.
Done.
Game night. Well, as we've mentioned before, we don't have a specific evening for game nights, but we will be advertising our game nights on our Discord as well as through Blue Sky and X. So if you're interested in signing up for our Discord so you can learn more about our upcoming game nights, what you would want to do is you want to head over to one of those apps, either Blue Sky or the app formerly known as Twitter, currently known as X, and head over to @GamingVessels, GAMINGVESSELS. You click the link in the bio and you're in. We don't have any merch to hawk, and we don't have a Patreon tier list to pay for. We just ask that you be a decent human being that likes talking about, discussing, and playing video games, and I think you will find a jolly good home aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel. What you want to do is head over to the Game Night channel and enter the game that you want to play, and we would be more than happy to play with you. Our community members would be more than happy to play with you. Since we're on older crowd schedules, sometimes it's difficult to get things to align, but that's why we're trying to get more and more people into the community. As you add more and more people, different people have different schedules, which is going to allow for folks to be able to connect more and be able to get some games in and just kind of get to know some folks in the community, because I think we have a really solid group of people in our Discord. So definitely want to encourage you all to give us a shot there. So that is going to wrap up this episode of Gaming Vessels. Want to thank y'all for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out without a doubt. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Lover.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stab Daddy. And for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Diggadulamite.
Purple bling bling, y'all.
And we'll be back next time, episode 293, for your earpiece. Peace!